Okay, let's begin. Welcome everybody on TikTok and on YouTube. Let me just double check YouTube is working. Looks like it is. Yes. Okay, yes, so welcome everybody. If you're new here, this is a spirituality or non-duality, spiritual awakening, etc. Question and answer. Okay, if you have any questions about your spiritual journey, then ask and I'll do my best to answer. So, questions so far. I've got hey, blessings, wave hand, abs. How about that book I recommended? Did you get a copy? No, I haven't got that book, but I do remember you recommending it. Hi, how do I get my telekinesis better, as I'm not sure if it's just wind moving the foil? What are you doing outside where there's wind? I'm not trying to be funny, but things like telekinesis, it comes down to you having a really strong belief, because believe it or not, to anybody who's thinking telekinesis, I'm not necessarily saying that one can move objects at a far distance from themselves, but we can 100%, because I've experienced it, move objects with our hands on the object. So for example, placing your hands on a table and having intention for the table to circle, and it does that. I've experienced this. No, as in my hand when I use it, I'm not sure if it's just the wind from it. This is where you have to develop your intuition. I mean, I can't see you do it, right? I'm not seeing you do it. So you have to develop your intuition. Is it really me? Does it feel like it's you? If it feels like it's you, then go with that. Try not to second guess yourself too much, because that's what happens with the ego mind. The ego mind wants us to second guess things that we intuit naturally. Why do most spiritual people from the West gravitate towards Hinduism? Well, first of all, Hinduism is a umbrella term. It isn't one thing, but you probably know that. And I would say there are many truths written down in India that are simply plain to read and plain to understand and simply correct. Doesn't mean there isn't truth in other cultures or countries, but there is a vast amount of literature and knowledge from gurus in India that has simply stood the test of time. Because people gravitate towards truth in general. People also gravitate towards untruths, but people who are focused mainly on their ego would do so. The latter. Because we could also say, why do so many people from the West gravitate towards Christianity or Islam? Right? More people are Christians or Muslims than there are spiritual people. So it's all relative anyway. You're welcome, Anonymous. I'll probably be here for only an hour today. So, ask your questions if you have any. Don't force it. For anybody just seeing what's happening here or wants to know what I talk about, it's your true nature. Lexi says, how do you define your belief? Because I always find trouble wording it. That's good. It's good that you have trouble wording that which I'm speaking about. Because no words really can encompass your true nature. We say things like true nature, consciousness, true self, higher self. But really, no word is what you are. So myself, for example, that which I talk about, if I'm asked to put a label on it, I could say non-duality, I could say spirituality, or I could simply say there is no label for it. It depends who I'm talking to. So don't feel like you have to put a word or a label on it. You can just explain what it is that you have your belief is to the person. Also, the good thing about it not being easy to explain that everything is one is that people who truly want to understand you will hang around and listen to you. People just want what I call the fast food version of truth. They'll leave you alone and they'll save you time. So don't worry about just explaining what it is you believe in. People who care to know more, they will hang around. Abs pretty much has said the same thing as me. Abs has said it's probably not you having trouble wording it, but rather people not wanting to understand. 100%. Remember, you don't owe anybody anything. Hey, Babaji. Much love. Deborah says, I was being led towards crystals and healing, then towards church, confused. Being led by who? By feelings? By thoughts? Are you feelings? Are you thoughts? Or is it other people? As for being confused, guess what, Deborah? The fact that you can be aware of your confusion actually points to something that isn't confused. You have clarity in your confusion. Might sound strange, but hear me out. You are sure that you are confused. So what is it that is sure that the mind is confused? What is it that is aware of the confusion? That's your true nature. So you're not really confused. Your mind's just being pulled in different directions. Okay, that happens sometimes. But try not to identify it as that being you. You are already the truth. Your truth doesn't need a crystal. Your truth doesn't need a church. Your truth is so clear and whole, it's even aware of confusion. That's how unaffected it is by the mind. And that's what I'm trying to help you all understand and melt back into. Your true nature. Always unaffected by the mind's experiences. You too, Babaji. Much love to you. Another light being. You see, everybody, there's always good news to share with you. Isn't that amazing? There's always good news to share with you. And the funny thing is that news is you. Your true nature. Isn't it funny? It was you all along. We keep leaping seemingly from our place of stillness, of wholeness, as a pure observer, to be the mind. But you can't be that which you're observing. It's an experience. The experiencer is you. I meet a lot of people joining our church because they've been influenced by social media. Interesting, says Ab said that. Take care, Babaji. Hope you have an amazing day. Hope you have an amazing now, which is all there is. Deborah says, I feel like when I'm not doing church stuff, something bad happens, but I don't fit in there. Yeah, you're too much in your mind. Deborah, you're believing that your actions are correlated to whether you are in the church or not. But again, that's the power that you have in belief. Our minds are so powerful that we can believe that a piece of rope on the floor is a snake. Like, oh, what's that? Oh. You can even be scared of your own shadow. I saw a video of a little kid being scared of his own shadow. Right? Your mind is powerful. You're creating a story now that something bad happens because you are not in church. So the question is, why are you doing this to yourself? You don't have the answer. That's just something to think about. And for everybody, why do we create these stories that are harmful to our peace, when the stories are correlations, not necessarily causations, just beliefs? We do it because of conditioning, because of fear, because of not knowing another way to handle the mind. But you don't even need to handle the mind. Again, you are always the observer of it. It's just recognizing what you are. Like I often say, wouldn't it be beneficial to you to know you are not a tree? Your life would not go very well if you thought you was a single tree, right? You need to know you are the body to some extent. You are your thoughts to some extent, okay? But going even deeper than that, you need to know your truest nature too, to have full control of your life. And that's that you are this formless observer, call it consciousness, of the body, of the mind. Life is about reminding ourselves what we truly are, to allow us to play in this experience we call life without unhealthy attachments. Deborah says, none of my family are spiritual, so I'm struggling with all the things I know and that come to me. Well, let me just say first and foremost that it's very normal that there's like one spiritual person in the family. It's the same with my family. Okay, it doesn't mean nobody listens to me, but it's the same. So that's normal. The spiritual world is very esoteric. Well, a lot of it anyway, the deeper truths. So nobody has to get to you, has to understand. You do your journey and you'll see how it can help you to know who you truly are. Because the more you know what you truly are, the deeper you meet yourself, the deeper you can understand other people. I say this all the time. You can only relate to other people as far as you have related to yourself. You can only see other people as far as you've seen yourself. Self with a capital S. Not your name, not your body. Those things change all the time. Literally, your body's changing right now. There's something that is consistent. That's what you truly are. It's here, it's right now, it's changeless. It has no name, no form. And because of that, because it's not a thing, it's naturally beautiful. Ironically. Hello, Skyworks on YouTube. Not wanting? Question mark. What do you mean by that? I mean, it's if there are any like really spiritual families, then that's awesome. I'm sure there are, obviously, but that's rare. So it's normal to be the odd one out. I'm very happy to sit in silence, just to remind you. This is a question answer for you. Some people may call it satsang. And if something really comes to me that I feel like I have to express, I'm awaiting your questions. And of course, silence is also a good teacher. Arguably the best teacher is silence. And stillness. Because when you are silent and still, you have nowhere to go. When your emotions arise, appear in front of you, within you. When your thoughts appear within you, positive or negative, there's nowhere to go. You have to stay with them and either let them seemingly harm you or understand that, again, they are the passing clouds to the observer that you truly are. Ab says, do you believe part of our DNA holds ancestral beliefs? Not necessarily DNA. It's just that we are all expressions of one consciousness. So we all have ability to tap into beliefs that exist in different quote-unquote timelines, realities. There is no division, there is no past, there is no future. In the deepest looking, there is no now, but I won't go there right now. Let's just say there's now. So everything is happening now. Ancient Egypt is happening now. The future with flying cars is happening now, because all realities exist now. Think about it, my fellow expressions of consciousness. Where else could we put the past? Where else could we put the future? There is nowhere, right? It would have to be now. Everything exists now. And again, the more you meet yourself as this pure consciousness, the more you understand that it's not a physical thing and it encompasses all. All information is within it as it arises out of it and subsides back into it. Even the intelligence that you have right now, it's coming from somewhere. It's coming from somewhere. You might say, oh, you borrowed it from somebody else, but they borrowed it from somewhere else. Original thought always comes out of that which you call consciousness. We all have the ability to tap into infinite intelligence. Again, where could the past be placed? Where could the future be placed if they are real things? It would have to be now, because there is no such thing as nothing or as nowhere. Where is nowhere? Where is nothing? By definition, they don't exist. So if we can talk about something, we are talking about something in the present tense without realizing it. And that's what harms a lot of people's attempt at manifestation, for example, because they don't feel and vibrate and talk in the present tense. Leah says, my father is very woke. We have deep chats about spirituality often. It only started happening once I had my spiritual awakening and started to ask him questions. Wow, that's interesting. So he didn't force it on you then. That's good. Skyworks on YouTube says you don't need to be spiritual to find truth. Well, it depends what truth we're talking about, of course. But yeah, the premise is correct. You don't need to be spiritual to find truth. Just the willingness to look deeply with a questioning mind. Well, you missed out open mind as well. And honesty. Because we all come with certain biases when we start attacking the tree of truth. So we have to be aware of our biases. For example, if your bias is that everything is physical, then you're going to perceive and look for truth relative to that presumption. For example, if you believe Allah created everything, then you're going to look for truth relative to that belief. So we have to be aware of our biases as well when we are searching for truth. You have to be naked. You have to be stripped down when you're really seeking truth. Leia says, when we do, there's always a strong connection. Very weird feeling, but it feels good to be able to connect to someone on that level. Yeah, it feels incredible to connect to other people who are of the same perception or similar perception. It doesn't have to be the same, but of similar perception of what self is. Because remember, everybody, we see the world as we see ourselves. So if we see ourselves as merely a meat sack, as lots of materialists would say, you know, just being physical, just matter, then we're going to look at the world just as that, matter, physical, hard, dead, inert stuff. Nothing spiritual, nothing, no wonder really, other than maybe how do we get here? If you see that this consciousness that you are is non-local, meaning it's not tied to your brain, that your brain is an image within this consciousness. It's not that consciousness is an image in the brain. Then your vantage point, your awareness, is going to widen. And more things and more people will seem closer to you because they are not separate from this awareness that you truly are. So you see the world as you see yourself. That's why my answer often to people is you have to know yourself before you can even understand me, for example. Many people try to argue with me, usually theists, and that's totally fine, and materialist scientists. But the reason they can't understand me, or someone like myself, is because they haven't looked deeply at what they are. They might think they have, but proof is in the pudding. It's very easy to see that fundamentally you are not physical. It's very easy. How? Look for the witness of experience. This I. We all say I. We'll find this I. Find this witness of experience. Should be easy if it's physical. Just get a surgeon, right? Go inside the body, right? Find the self. Even prominent scientists would say there is no self in the physical body. Yet they still have this notion that fundamentally we are matter. So cognitive dissonance is a thing. Okay, Skyworks, I hear you. Leia Storm, I love your energy. Thank you. On a similar level, I say. That's cool. You think life is an anime or something? Well, actually, right. So, whether you're trying to be funny or not, you made me laugh. Okay, and I can actually use what you just said. EMPTPTY. I don't understand some people's usernames. Anyway, when we were kids, did we not believe in Father Christmas? Right? Because our perception of self is that we are, these kids, right? And when we do something good, Father Christmas will give us presents. Do you see how it's that simple? When you really believe or love anime, like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, particularly as a youngster, you might have this belief that maybe it's possible that I could shoot chakra fireballs out of my hands. You think I never tried that with my friends when I was younger? Right? So you see the world as far as you see yourself. You understand the world as far as you've understood yourself. You meet the world as far as you've met yourself. You understand other people as far as you understand your true self with a capital S. Hello, Virtually Smith. It all comes back to as within, so without. As above, so below. It starts with you. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Just muscles and bones and veins? Really? Just thoughts? Really? Just emotions? That's what you are? An emotion? The being that you are. Just a thought, just an emotion, just meat? Come on. You know you are more than that. We just live in this way in our society that suggests otherwise. But you know really what you are is vast, unexplainable, unattainable. Yet, self-evidently, it's you. Because all experiences appear to it, and it appears to you. So you must be it. You must be this vastness. Must be you. Your whole body is an experience. Experienced by this awareness that is you. My friends, your consciousness is not in your head. As I always said, if your consciousness was in your head, you wouldn't know anything outside of your head. And it sounds so simple, but it's true. Father Christmas is returning this winter. Guys, repent. Oh, damn. I need to repent to get my presents. Do I plan to do ayahuasca again? I don't plan to do ayahuasca again. I did have the opportunity to do it several times since I did it. But as I said before, the awakening that I had blew the ayahuasca experience out of the water. Truly changed me, seemingly. So I don't see what it will give me. If I did it, it would just be like for intrigue. But there's nothing more I believe I can gain, because I realize that I'm nothing. He said he's nothing. Yeah, I'm nothing. I'm no thing, fundamentally speaking. But it's because I know I'm no thing that I understand that truly I'm everything. You have to be nothing in order to become everything. Because nothing has no location, has no limits. It's everywhere, always, and it's here and it's now. And that's what this formless pure consciousness truly is. It's not a thing. It's everywhere. It's here, now, always. Formlessness is playful. True. I feel like there's not being much progression with my spiritual journey, and I'm just stuck in derealization. Well, I need to know more of what you have perceived on your journey so far. Even though you just made a statement, you didn't ask a question. Death is an illusion. True. We are all God in quotes. True. An experience I would prefer not to have sometimes. God bless you, my friend. You helped me calm down a lot during a panic attack a while ago. Fantastic. It's the base of all living things, the no thingness. Exactly. Boy, do I get some funny looks when I tell theists that I'm nothing. But it's so freeing. It's freeing to know that you are no thing. Because of course you are your body, you are your thoughts as well. Don't get it twisted. Okay, it's just that you are not mostly that. But knowing that fundamentally you are no thing, it means that all the baggage that you have doesn't belong to you. It belongs to this character that you identify as being you, but it doesn't belong to you. Okay, because you are, again, that no thingness, that pure consciousness, as I like to word it, the background to the foreground of experience. Everything happening that you perceive right now with your mind, meaning everything, is what I call the foreground. But the background is that observer. The background you cannot get to from the foreground. Okay, that pure consciousness is the background. It's like the screen you are looking at right now. The screen is the background. The pixels are the foreground. They create the experience of the shapes, the words, my face. Okay, so they are one and the same, but they don't share the wholeness. The pixels don't share the wholeness of the screen. So the background to the pixels, you could say, is the screen. But the pixels can never just look at the screen because they are the screen. You with your mind cannot look at the witness of the mind because your mind actually is that source. I know this might sound confusing, but it's a journey. But I also know some of you do understand me. It's an illusion. When we look for the witness, we are like the witness looking for the witness. Because we never truly become the experience. It just seems as though we are. Notice no experience is infinite. Because at some point we fall asleep. Oh, a new experience. Another point we might go into what we call deep sleep. Oh, another experience. Then we have this waking state. Another experience. All these three states change all the time. Right? But there's something that is changeless. So that's what we really are. So that's why I'm saying we don't really become this waking state body. We don't really become that dream state body. We don't really become that deep sleep experience. These are the changing experiences that we are experiencing as this formless, pure, infinite consciousness. We borrow these bodies to experience the day and the night. Then we throw it back into pure consciousness and we call it sleeping. Love from Germany. First of April, I haven't heard anything. 1st of April. Do you ever feel like knowledge of self is so simple, but I feel everyone I know could never know? Says Lewis. Knowledge of self is the most simple thing that anybody could know because we are always experiencing ourself. Think about it, everybody. What else could we be experiencing but ourself? It's just that we take ourself to be a false self. We call it the ego. So it's presently in our awareness, ourself, because that's what we are. But because we are so powerful, we can seemingly forget and fall into this delusion that we are the ego. This is a simulation. Not really. Exactly. When I see spirit, I see millions of pixels vibrating together. Everything happens at once. That's true. We experience it in changes. That's true. Stages, sorry. I can't sleep. I dream of hair, and my brother says I talk in my sleep. Our bodies change, mind change, egos change, but the observer never changes. True. Don't worry, I will not believe him. It's probably just gibberish. Jesus loves you and died for your sins and rose again. Yes, but honestly, I'm nobody for real. Yeah, ultimately, you are pure infinite consciousness. What's the topic right now? You just joined? It's a question and answer about your spiritual journey. Are you on one? Thank you, Lewis. Tara says, just don't vibe with like 99% of people I used to. It's hard and really lonely sometimes. Well, in order to experience something new, we have to let go of that which was holding us back sometimes. I'm learning to let go of people and things. That's a hard lesson for anyone on this journey. It really is. And I've been saying this forever. On this journey of self-realization, so-called spiritual journey, I would imagine even as a theist, a Christian or Muslim or Jew, well, a religious Jew, that you're likely to lose people, as in friends and family, because you will start seeing the world differently. So you have to be brave to really live by your truth. And let's think about it. Why should you even obtain the fruits of self-realization if you're not brave to begin with? Right? There has to be some backbone to us to discover that deep truth. Otherwise, the mind will just play around with you. Tara says my backbone has just about formed. Well, good. You're observing that. And that's one of the reasons that many people don't even bother to listen to you when you're trying to talk to them about spiritual matters, let's say, or self-realization, because they just don't have the, not necessarily desire. I think everybody has a desire to know themselves deeply, but they're scared of the fact that their whole world could turn upside down, because everybody has this deep intuition that there's something more than this mundane reality, so-called mundane reality. Especially if you break it down very simply, like I do often. I start with, well, do you choose your thoughts? Oh yeah, I choose my thoughts. Really? Do your thoughts not just appear in your mind? Well, yeah, but I chose them. Really? To choose a thought would suggest that you chose from a selection of thoughts. That's what a choice is. You have a multiple array of things and you choose one of them or two of them. But that's not the experience. We just have thoughts appear in our mind. Also, if you choose your thoughts, then stop thinking. Just stop thinking for 20 seconds. Can't do it. So who are you then? It's very easy to see that there's more to what we really are. You literally have very little people to talk about this. The funny thing is, Caspar, I hear you. However, I find that most people are interested in this. They just, as I said, are afraid of starting the journey because they're moving into the unknown. And guess what? I was there too. I was, would I say afraid? Would that be the word? Kind of. Could say afraid, I guess, of not knowing what would happen when I overcame my ego, when I was deep on my journey. You know what? So I just end up in this abyss, this void, without an ego. What happens? What's on the other side? It can be quite scary because you don't know what's there. But I've come through the other side, and now I'm obviously sharing my knowledge with everybody. And yeah, you just find that you are actually whole. And the ego is something that it's like a friend. Your ego is like a friend. Don't hate your ego. Your ego is a better friend to you than your own dog. Thank you, Tara. Who's this? Caramel says, I love this. First time here. I just saw a question. Should you let a friend go that uses you as a free therapist and refuses to grow? Energy vampire vibes. It depends to what extent they are using you as a therapist. For all I know, you are exaggerating. I don't know. I don't know that you are not exaggerating. You know, I'm here to keep it real as always. However, when it comes to energy vampires, we allow people to apparently suck our energy. Because let's think about it. Nobody's actually going into our energy, going into our body, into our mind, and sucking energy out. It's our perception of the interaction that allows for the experience of an energy vampire being a thing. You are more powerful than you realize. Also, it's down to you as to how much information you want to give to your friend. You don't have to say everything. You could just give them snippets if you feel like you are being drained. They don't respect you, or if they don't respect you, then maybe it's time to cut them off. But that's down to you. Respect is super important. Well, it should be. Respect should be important to all of you. When I say respect, I mean from your friends, that is. I don't mean the whole world. The whole world doesn't have to respect you, but your friends should. Yeah, I think ego can be used as a tool, not rejected. It's when ego controls you. Exactly, Lewis. What the ego is, I'm actually saying, none of you have to agree with me, but I'm actually telling you the ego is a tool. I'm telling you that. Again, believe it or not, it's a tool, because what you really are is the observer of the tool. Let's say. Again, I'm going to keep saying this word, pure consciousness, all these words. You are pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is whole. Okay? Pure consciousness, you could say, is all bodies. Just like your dream, right, has many people in it. All those people, they are all the mind. It's just harder to see that in this so-called waking state, we are all minds of this one pure consciousness. The only way to really see it is to, again, increase your perception of yourself. You probably still think your awareness is just in your head. No, your awareness is aware of your head. You can touch your head. You are aware of your head. You can perceive your head. Your awareness is aware of that which is at a distance from your body and which is your body. You have to widen your perception of self. How do you become awakening? Assume you mean how do you awaken? Well, you need to start your journey first and foremost. There's many ways, but start by questioning, if you want to, who are you? Like I said earlier, are you the chooser of your thoughts? That's a good place to start. And I have many videos on my TikTok and my YouTube, like hundreds, literally, maybe 1,000. I even have a free course on TikTok. Yeah, many 1-minute videos. Check that whole series out. It's on my playlist. And I have a paid course as well, but that's if you really want to go deep. Ooh, is that the time? I'm gonna leave in like 10 minutes. Yes, Lewis, I agree 100%. Lewis says it's funny how the word woke has been absolutely sabotaged. 100%. It wasn't long ago that woke basically meant the things that I'm talking about. And all of a sudden it's just, yeah. We all know what it is now. I used to think it was my job to help people awaken, but now I believe it's each personal soul's. Very good, because you're bang on. It's like my talk. Like some of you were here earlier, right? You heard me say, I'm happy to be quiet in this talk, in this question and answer. Okay, I'm here for you. If you don't have any questions, I'll just be silent. I'm not forcing my perception on any of you, because we are truly expressions of this source. We're not all supposed to be awakened. We're not all supposed to be awake. Why? Because we need contrast. It's contrast that begets the expansion of experience within this one undivided pure consciousness. We need the up, the down, the left, the right, the awakened, the unawakened, the big, the small, the fat, the white, the black, the Chinese, everybody. We need everybody and everything to allow for the infinite experience that can be experienced as this pure undivided consciousness. Take care, Tara. How do I get rid of a spiritual spouse? What do you mean by that? Bhagavad Gita can help a lot too. It can help, particularly if you understand it. Some people probably don't understand it, but yeah, for sure, it's a classic. I didn't understand the Bhagavad Gita until after my awakening, for example. Then it was like, oh, yeah, it's just talking about my experience that I had the other day. What's the picture behind me? I'll show you. That's how I see myself. I said this before on a video. Tiger, I have a cape like that. You know, spiritual person. Yeah, that's like the image of me. Do you have any books that I recommend? Honestly, first of all, I have to say I do have books myself. Just type Tiger Dragon Storm on YouTube, on Amazon, you'll see my books. Other than that, the classics are like, yeah, the Bhagavad Gita that somebody recommended earlier, Upanishads. These things will help you understand what I'm talking about, for example. These are like ancient books, ancient texts. Tao Te Ching, another one. But again, it does help to have some level of, well, no, yeah, it can help. I wonder what's after this life. More life. More life. There is only life. Even death is experienced in life. Have you noticed that? Yeah, typically it always comes, oh, where was I all this time? Nice. And that's the thing, we've always been here and now. We've never been the one on the journey. We've been the one observing the journey. Remind me, everybody, where are you from? Like, drop your flag or just write the country. Some of you are regulars here, and it'd be nice to know. And even if you're not a regular, it'd be nice to know. Where are you from? What country are you from? MJ says, my left ear has been ringing like crazy. Interesting. Wow, Guyana, Scotland. Scotland. I get a few people from Scotland for some reason. Okay, Manchester, UK, nice. Ireland. Yorkshire. Latvia. Oh, wow. I have a Latvian friend, actually. Amazing. France. What about on YouTube? Where are you from, Skyworks? If you're still here. Japan. Isn't it interesting that, so you've all just kindly told me where you're from, and I totally appreciate that. Thank you. However, the question of who are you truly, no matter what country you're from, what you look like, would still be the most important question when it comes to describing who you really are. Because none of us are a country. I'm from UK as well. None of us are a country, of course. We live in a country. None of us are our bodies or thoughts. No, we observe those things. No matter what language you speak, you are the observer of the language. No matter what your body looks like, you are the observer of the experience of your body. This is the underlying truth that permeates all of us. This is why I say it's the truth. One truth, all is one. None of you can observe the witness of the experience that you are having. Of course, try as you might. Try until you're blue in the face. Alas, you will not be able to find it. Because you are already it. You can only find that which has some type of distinction. Because it's not the purest version of you. It's the illusion. Because the illusion that you are the body, the illusion that you are your thoughts, enables you to experience reality. Just as the illusion that you are the dream person enables you to experience a reality. Within all illusions, there's always an element of truth to it. That's why the illusion can even be. The element of truth within the illusion that you are the body, you are the mind, is what you truly are. The observer of the illusion, the pure consciousness, that which is whole. That which doesn't change when you go through the three states of waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. So no matter your language, no matter what you identify as, you are that, and I am that too. We are expressions of the same thing. Casper says, well, it would be hard for my consciousness to type it in TikTok. Exactly. Although I'm sure you understand as well that TikTok is also consciousness, so is the body, ultimately. But yeah, I have to go now, guys. I wanted to do a quick one before I left. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've gained some value. Lewis says, I think Hinduism hit the nail on the head. Not religious though, of course. Yeah, religion, Hinduism is more a collection of different schools of thoughts. That's how I like to see it. Have a wonderful day or evening, my fellow expressions of consciousness. I like to do lives. I have been doing lives more often recently. So make sure you follow me if you like this type of talk. And yeah, if you want any one-on-one coaching as well, go to tigerhelps.com or click the link in my bio and we can have a discussion. I can help you on your awakening. Have a wonderful day or evening, my fellow expressions of consciousness. Peace. Skyworks, he said South London. Nice.